Hotep, greetings. Welcome to Science of Energy Fusion once again. I need to talk to you now about how you have to program your food, especially if it's heavier food, with positive vibrations and higher frequencies. Because when you go about, like if you're eating peanuts, any legumes, beans, rice, breads, especially breads, okay? Oats, anything that is a coagulative substance, and that pretty much includes the majority of grains. You, we need to program those foods because other see the way that energy sits in your food is how it replicates. So as your body breaks down food, it makes it a part of itself. So it becomes a part of our DNA. So do we want lower dimensional, angry people, sad energies and things like that programming our DNA? Less likely, because it's likely to make us sad, likely to make us angry, likely to draw us into our lower nTrs. So because we want to stay in our higher nTrs, and these are the higher nTrs, we want to stay here. So we want to be fluid movement, we want to be free thinking, we're thinking right side up, right, instead of upside down, like from the bottom up. Like we're only thinking about the sexing and only the lower dimensional things that actually eventually leave you drained of energy. We have to program them consciously with higher vibes. So I made up auric buffering video. I'll post the link below before about how you can tune. Well, this might be harder. Okay, well, it's a tuning fork. And, you ding, like you hear that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I didn't hit it that hard, so you should have heard that. Okay, so you tune, and eventually you may feel something. If you're a really conscious meditator, then you can focus that energy, that vibration from the fork, right into yourself. And you meditate sometimes. If you don't have fork, you can just meditate. That puts the good vibes. Sometimes you're to breathe there. You breath work. Okay, you like breath work. I like to do everything. Frequency of music is important. Avoid the rap beats. It actually is it breaks down the vibrational frequency. But for the breath work, people do breath work, and you especially need to do this with the grains and the breads. Okay. You just keep breathing down, right? Breathing the energy, crunching the stomach a little bit. And what that does is it inputs and you're thinking the most positive things you can, or nothing at all. You're just digesting your food, and the intention is for the food to build you up, and that's still a positive thing, but it's really nothing at all because that's what the food is for anyway. So at that point, you're actually letting the food do its job, and oh my goodness, nature knows how to work way better than any positive affirmations we could ever come up with. Trust me, I know. So when we doing this and then we're breathing into this food, we're pushing it into our body, it's breaking down, it's adding itself to our genetics. We are consciously digesting our food and consciously giving it instruction or helping it move into perfect alignment within our bodies. And that puts us in a better alignment on the physiological platform, especially for people like me, and like my woman, where we're coming from. We used to live in forests, and then we are in city, and now we have to make business and all of these things. And it's like, you know, days where we have to stand up all the time. So being able to use tools like these make it so that we don't go completely nuts and completely lose track and focus and lose all our energy. So this is key because this is key. Key actually refers to energy in the Far Eastern tradition, and actually in Medu Neter, the I actually is reads, which actually refers to the flow of energy in a transitional state from the living to the what they call the dead, which is actually the hereafter or the thereafter, depending on if they leave or they stay as spirit guides or they lost and they don't know where to go, but they definitely died. Whatever, they become an energetic form, right? So either way, we're talking about Far East, we're talking about Medu Neter, either way, it's still the same thing. It's still energy. It's still talking about energy. When in Metal nTr, we're talking more about the connection between the spirit realm and the physiological realm and what it is that governs that connection. So on and so forth. Now, other tools that we can use are like singing bowls and things of such nTr. Other tools we can use are other foods. So I have actually, hand me that small container, please, just very quickly of that honey. It's right there behind that you're seeing. Turn around and you'll see it right there behind it. It's right there. Oh, it's in front of it. It's in front of it. You see it? Now toss it. I am well versed. Do I? And you see that? Manuka. Manuka. Manuka honey has a massive amount of very powerful vibrational acids. So, in other words, it's an extremely powerful food. It's a superfood, and superfoods have high vibrations, high vibrational acids. Their nutrients are super. So, it will actually affect the other foods that you eat. And honey is a multi-dimensional food, which means that it's not one of those foods like berries, where it's like, okay, you just ate grains, don't eat berries, man. You can put honey on everything. And people put honey in their bread. I mean, honey's in all kinds of breads. If you actually pay attention, honey is actually added to most of the breads that we see. They either put sugar or they put honey, but the better bread makers usually put honey because people love honey. So add honey after you eating at least 1 tablespoon of manuka after you eat anything you eat. That will help to program your food. So and that manuka can be very expensive. The multifloral is less expensive than the monofloral. The monofloral is way more powerful though. Let me tell you, it's way more powerful. It's way more, and you can buy it with food stamps. Yes, you can buy manuka honey with food stamps. So if you're on food stamps, then we tried it out for you. We tried it in for you. It's a good to go. Hey, you do food stamps? I'm like, look, I didn't even do cities until just recently. So, anyways, because I prefer the vast open plain, but you can buy this with food stamps, and it's super powerful. It's good for raising a vibration. So if you're ever in a rut, and you remember, I remember Manuka honey actually supposed to raise vibration. I remember Yaman who said that. Go buy it. Go ahead and see if Yamanu was telling truth. See if nTr was going to lead you astray. Then I'm giving you power here. The whole channel we created, this YouTube channel, all full of power. You don't need me if you have these things. I did like from the base level, everything that we have given from the first video all the way upward, even ignoring if you wanted to, and most people probably will out of some kind of restriction, the nTrs like Heru and all of that. You don't have to talk about that. You can just talk about the facts like the order breathing, the superfood DNAs, how to meditate with gemstones, and it just goes on. The list goes so far upward up to this point. You could take and for yourself master those things over a certain amount of time. It depends on the individual and how much effort they have that they can put into it, because I threw away everything for this. So even if somebody copied everything that we did, that's no, that's definitely not the same as throwing everything away and having nothing else to do but this, because it's not the same energy put into it. It's not the same intensity. It's not the basically like this is do or die. Like for me in here, it was do or die. It's not like we had to learn these things to survive. We had to learn these things. It's not just something that we're learning to make money. It's not just something we were learning to, all these other things. I was about to die from health issues and from some other serious issues dealing with magics and other things that I wasn't actually I wasn't actually spiritual warfare is real, okay? And so if you are unaware of who your enemies are, because sometimes your enemies can be very close to you, they can lower your vibrations, and foods like these can help you to break that lowering of vibration. Is manuka honey. It doesn't want to show on the screen. Whatever, manuka honey. Why you want to be so elusive to the people? Oh my goodness. There you go. So when you have so when you have tools like those, they help you to stay high vibration. And another important thing is that when you eat grains or anything like that, make sure that we like take a little flax seed or something, you know, like something that helps to break it down faster in the body. Uh, oil. Okay, cocoa gum oil, or they call it cocoa nut. We call them gums because I mean it's really the same thing. I recognize that actually nuts and legumes are literally pretty much the same thing. The only difference is if I call it a nut, and then I want to, you know, get people to throw away too much sexual energy on sexual activities, then I also call what comes, you know, everything. You get what I'm saying? So I leave it at that because when you got children and you watch a video, you like, is he about to? Oh, I'm so glad he didn't say that. Yeah, you're welcome. So, anyways, I think you're getting the gist of this. You have to program your food because at this point, people's energies is going, oh, and you really want to be aware of what it is that you're allowing to sit in yourself and replicate within our genetics. And food replicates in the genetics because that's what it's its job. So we want to program it consciously now because it's going to need, and it's going to help the essential. Oh my goodness! Like when you program your food consciously, I'm going to tell you the magnesium and some oats. You ain't never experienced magnesium until you told it over and over again for about an hour or two. Whew, relax my body. Ooh, or you breathe into it for that relaxation, you activate that magnesium, right? You know, or you activate that iron. You ain't never got hot until you really activated the iron in that cacao, right? You ain't never really got hot. You ain't never really known what it was like to, oh, maybe I need to, where's the fan? Like, I didn't know cacao acted like this. You never partied with cacao. You know, you were like the cacao party, you know, next to you or inside of you, and you were like, that's nice. Okay, cacao, keep doing your thing, but do your thing with cacao, and then it will show you the best marriage that you have ever experienced, and it will take you into the tropics somewhere where the party is nice and sweaty, and you know. So I think you're getting the gist of this. So, Shem Merie Hotep, go in love and peace, and have as much fun as I am making this video because the truth is the ascension is happening. It's going, we're going, and soon we'll be gone. What I mean is not gone like we're dead. What I mean is gone like boom. Okay, so take it to the next level. Kimity, ooh.